You've held on through 4 days of competition. Now, it's time to navigate your way to the final table. Through moments of trepidation.
You have a pair?
Pretty big pair.
Exhilaration. And devastation.
Me.
Oh, God. Barcelona is always one of the most popular stops on the PokerStars.com European Poker Tour. And the EPT 100 Festival has exceeded all expectations.
The event has been incredible. There's been huge fields. Every single event has just smashed records.
EPT Barcelona is by far my favorite stop on the tour, and I think that it's echoed by the players. They all showed up.
It is crazy here. We've got a record-breaking field. I can't believe it.
And this tournament has now reached day 5, with the first main event trophy of season 11 still up for grabs. Last time, the Polish contingent slowly dominated day 4.
Slow play? Maybe.
Slow road?
I don't know if I slow roll.
Dominic Panka is now the last remaining champ after our online qualifier Bram Henriks extinguished Mike McDonald and Davide Katai's hopes of winning a second EPT championship. And so, we reach the business end of our record-breaking 100th EPT main event.
1,496 players each ponied up the 5,000 euros to make a 7.25 million euro prize pool, with 1.26 million up top for the end boss.
And we're inching ever closer towards crowning a champion. Today's the day when we play down to our final table.
25 players remain. The reigning PCA champ is at our feature table, and the online qualifier is at the top of the leaderboard. Online qualifier. Fire was supposed to come out of there, but I don't know what happened.
Qualifying online for only 82 euros, chip leader Bram Henriks has already locked up 33k, and he's poised to make an even deeper run.
I'm very focused. If your goal isn't to be the #1, then there's something wrong with you.
Polish pro Dominic Panka has already won 2 major titles in 2014. After a prolonged heads-up battle with Mike McDonald at the PCA, he won the marathon match and denied Timex a second title. Weeks later, at EPT Deauville, Dominic added a high roller trophy to his collection. But there's always room for more.
Winning another title will be awesome. I think I'm a much better player than last year, for sure. I just take steps one at a time. I don't look super far at the future.
It's the penultimate day of EPT 100 and action's already underway. Mathieu Clavet came in as the short stack.
Good game, guys. Good luck.
And he's already going out. He cashes for 33,300 euros.
Good luck, man.
Good luck, bro. Thank you, man. Good play.
Good luck, man. Good luck.
Nice recovery. All it needed was the classic. I meant to do that.
Poor guy. And there's been an elimination on one of the outer tables.
Good game.
John Andres exits in 24th.
Let me just go ahead and get that from you. Great.
Everyone now guaranteed at least 40,200 euros. And with 23 players remaining, here is our featured table, headlined by Dominic Panka, but he's one of the shortest stacks. Slaven Popov from Bulgaria is the big stack, with nearly 3.5 million.
Popov gets a treat.
Blinds 20,000, 40,000 with a 5,000 ante. Action folded to Mikkel Nielsen, who's got aces.
I just want to let you know, we're all counting on you.
He raises to 80k. Andrea Dato has 8-10 suited. He folds. Ace-king suited for Panka.
Things are about to get pretty rank for Dominic Panka. Do you know it's actually harder to get dealt ace-king suited than it is to get dealt aces? It's kind of messed up.
Here comes a 3-bet. Panka re-raises to 190,000. Kirill Radzivill folds the small blind. Andre Letau in the big blind. Also passes. Back on Nielsen.
Folks aren't folding much in position, so I would suspect we're going to see a 4-bet.
He makes it 310,000.
4-bet's a little small, but I don't think it's going to matter.
All in.
Panka shoves.
Call.
And Nielsen calls. Panka at risk and behind.
Last time I saw a cooler this big, Rocky was punching meat in it.
Here comes the flop. 2 hearts on board.
Dominic Panka, so good.
He now has 9 outs. And that's one of them!
Me.
Yeah, that's pretty terrible.
Nielsen's not drawing dead. With an ace or 6 on the river, he'll make a full house. No.
Must be nice.
That hand was the worst thing to happen to a Nielsen since Dracula Dead and Loving It.
Dominic Panka doubles up to over 2.6 million. Mikhail Nielsen down to 1.6 million. Consolation prize is he's about to be moved off the feature table.
It's not a consolation prize. You get moved away from all your chips.
At the secondary feature table, seniors event winner Hussein Ensan has bet the flop with second pair. Piotr Savinsky has bottom pair. And he raises.
I can understand raising a donk lead with a good hand, but this isn't going to get folds very often, and it's not really going to get value either.
Ensan calls. 5 on the turn.
Savinsky's going to have to bluff this again.
No, he checks behind. 4 on the river. Puts a potential flush out there. It goes check, check again. And Hussein Ensan will add 310k to his stack. He's now playing close to 4.5 million.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Sane.
Sane who?
Oh man, that didn't work. Can we go back and edit that out?
I'll think about it. At the outer table, our qualifier. Bram Henrates is facing a bet on the river from Mikkel Nielsen.
Well, I don't know if Nielsen's got it or not, but if he's already involved in a hand like this, he may be tilting worse than the artwork at Stevie Wonder's house.
Bram calls. Nielsen shows King 10 it was a river bluff. Henrates with top pair.
Nice call from the qualifier.
Yes, Mr. Nielsen possibly steaming after losing to Dominic Panka. Meanwhile, Bram is up to nearly 5.2 million.
Where's that photo taken? Tatooine? What's he spent his mornings shooting womp rats?
That's the beach outside.
What is outside?
So Bram increases his stack to remain atop the leaderboard. Hussein Ensan sits in second. Dominic Panka is 7th in chips, with Piotr Savinsky rounding off the top 10. Mikkel Nielsen back in action. He's raised under the gun. Action on Sam Phillips on the button.
Nielsen again, this poor guy.
Phillips 3 bets. Everyone else has passed.
This is another small re-raise. And unless this is against someone with a small stack who opened a pretty rank hand, this sizing isn't standard.
Nielsen shoves.
All in.
And Phillips calls. On their backs. Nielsen's run 9s into kings.
Nielsen's still on stone tilt. I think the move there might have been the just call getting 4-1.
No 9 on the flop. Or on the turn. 2 outs. Nielsen eliminated.
He lost aces against ace king. He had aces, Panka had ace king.
Oh no.
Sweet.
I agree. Bleeping Panka.
Nielsen out in 19th. Back at the feature table, blinds 25-50. Andrea Dato folds under the gun. Dominic Panka, who did the dirty on Nielsen, has ace-queen of diamonds.
Hope you're happy with yourself, Panka.
He raises to 100K.
Probably gonna crack aces again with this hand.
Radzivanow folds. Latau is out. Gerald Karlik in the small blind has ace-king of clubs.
Like a good ratatouille, it's time to throw a little Karlik in this pot.
This is a 3-bet to 260,000. Popov folds the big blind. It's back on Panka.
He's not folding.
He shoves.
Makes sense.
And gets called.
Once again, this is just kind of coolery. Can Dominic deliver another brutal, brutal suck out?
Karlik is officially the player at risk. Well, that's a fine and dandy flop for his ace-king. He's set for a double up here. Dominic Panka only has 2 outs. Karlik just has to fade a queen on the river. Oh, it's a queen!
Dominic Panka not making a lot of friends today. Karlik and Nielsen are going to start a support group.
He does it again! Another brutal suck out.
Good luck.
And this one sends Gerald Karlik to the rail in 18th place.
I feel so bad I can't even do another garlic pun. Stinks.
At the secondary feature table, Daniel Dvoris is all in with 7s.
How much?
Action back on Ji Zhang, who has aces.
705,000.
700.
705,000.
What's he thinking about?
I don't know.
So much?
700, yeah?
Get on with it!
I caught without the yellow one.
Finally!
I caught him.
All in a call?
Good luck. Dvoris' head is going to explode when he sees aces after all that.
Oh, okay.
Take it quite well, in my opinion. Oh, and an ace on the flop.
4. 6 and 4.
Brzezinski calling for karma.
Come on.
Dvoris drawing dead.
Good game, guys. Удачи.
Let's see how Canadian this guy is. Maybe he apologizes for getting slow rolled.
Well, with his exit, it's time for a redraw.
In the words of Wayne Campbell, zang.
Thoughts on the slow roll? Tag him, EPT 100.
Or your favorite Wayne's World quote.
Hey, Joe. I know it's really exciting and everything, but like any other big city, you've got to keep your wits about you because there are pickpockets everywhere, and they have these distraction techniques they use to try and grab your attention while they steal your wallet.
Really?
Yeah, like these things.
Those things.
Yeah.
I don't see how anyone would fall for that.
Somehow they do.
Dominic Panka is running hotter than the Barcelona sun. First, cracking the aces of Mikkel Nielsen.
Me.
And then spiking a 2-outer on the river to send Gerald Karlik home in 18th place. He's inching his way closer to a second EPT title, with the field reduced to only 2 tables as we play down to the final table at the 100th PokerStars.com EPT main event.
Dominic Panka has sucked out more than a Beverly Hills liposuction clinic.
At least he's self-aware.
No. Where's his real Twitter account? The one where he's laughing and telling everyone how great he is and how terrible they are.
Well, Dominic is still on the main stage where he's joined by his compatriot Piotr Savinsky and two of the tournament big stacks, Hussein Ensan and former PCA finalist Andrei Shatilov. At the secondary table is the chip leader, our qualifier, Bram Henrites, plus a couple of Germans, Ji Zhang and Andre Letau, and Sam Phillips from the USA. Blinds are now 30,000, 60,000 with a 10,000 ante. Action folded to Shatilov, who's got ace-6 of hearts. He raises.
Yep.
Round to Savinsky in the big blind. He's got 7 deuce of hearts.
I know you're supposed to defend your big blind pretty wide to a min-raise, but Savinsky's too short to defend this hand.
He does defend.
Check.
And he checks in the dark. Only 1 heart on the board.
So he probably can't get in too much trouble.
No c-bet from Shatilov. He checks behind. Oh, both players now have a flush draw.
Hold on to your potatoes.
Savinsky moves all in.
Easy call.
Sure enough, Shatilov puts Savinsky at risk.
Shatilov even had position on slamming his cards down hard. Nice.
Well, Savinsky has 6 outs. He needs a 7 or a deuce on the river.
I mean, that's more outs than Dominic Panka's been needing.
Nah, it's a queen.
Good game. Good game.
Savinsky eliminated in 15th place.
We are really getting down to it here. Savinsky, more like so 15th ski.
He cashes for 62,000 euros. Meanwhile, we've got 3-way action at the secondary table. Sam Phillips has raised and been called by Bram Henrites and Kirill Radzivanow, the so-called angry moron.
Right.
That is his online handle.
It's pretty much everyone's online handle.
A king-high flop. Phillips takes the lead.
Manages to catch his 1 live card. Well done.
Action check to Bram.
Checking is fine there after getting called in 2 spots pre-flop. Looks like Bram's gonna bet to protect his equity. Cool, cool.
A qualifier makes it 335,000.
Looks like Jacks are gonna continue to not go nuts against the big stack. All good.
Radzivanow calls.
And Sam checked for pot control, realizing it's unlikely he could make this pot much bigger and still have the best hand, but he's certainly not folding now.
Yep, he calls as well, so still 3-way going to the turn. The 4 of hearts changes nothing. Radzivanow checks again, as does Phillips. And Bram slows down, he checks behind. 4 of clubs on the river.
Could easily see another check around.
Does Bram want to try and steal this? No.
Hand kind of played itself after the flop, given the run out. I think the qualifier did a pretty good job checking it down.
Meanwhile, Sam Phillips chips up to nearly 5.2 million. And although Bram took a hit there, he's still the tournament chip leader. Not too bad for a banker from Amsterdam.
I love this experience. I'm now actually on holidays, and this is what I do on my holidays. Every morning I left the hotel, walked to the beach, sat at the same restaurant with a view on the sea. It has been a great experience. I'm surely gonna come back. If I wouldn't have qualified, then I wouldn't have played this tournament. There are tens, maybe hundreds of qualifiers each day. I played the 80 euros, which give me a direct entrance to the main event. I've never played a big live tournament. Day 1, all right, let's try to survive. And then my next goal, make the money. After the bubble burst, I could play freely again. Playing EPT champions in this tournament, I think I've developed my game a lot in the last couple of days. So, of course, this builds your confidence. I started today chip lead. Well, if I would win this tournament, I'm gonna consider poker maybe as somewhat more than just a hobby.
Poker more than just a hobby, huh? Like friends with benefits? Maybe call poker late at night, but then you don't exactly kick poker out first thing in the morning. I like where this is going.
Back at the main feature table, we are going to play a hand from Dominic Panka's perspective. We're going to sweat with Dominic.
No, this should be easy. Just jam with any 2 cards. Kid can't miss today.
Shatalov's raised from the cutoff. Panka's got Queen 10 suited on the button.
It's like when Jamie Lee Curtis dropped the Uzi down the stairs in True Lies. Just hits everything.
Panka calls in position. Popov folds the small blind. Rudoy in the big blind.
His name's Rudoy. I'm always hearing about these Rudoys in South London. Come on, bruv.
I think you mean Rude Boy. And for the record, they don't have them in Putney. So Rudoy calls as well, 3-way to the flop.
Okay, we're in position. Let's just boot up our button-suited Broadway program.
Jack 7 with only 1 spade.
Not a great flop for us.
Action check to the pre-flop aggressor. Shatalov set to continue. 240,000.
I like a fold here, but that's because I am a giant wuss. Shatalov isn't likely to have hit this, and if he's got 2 big cards, he doesn't really even have a draw, so sometimes really good players are going to float here.
Panka calls.
The big blind might have hit something.
Rudoy folds. Even though he did hit something, that was probably the best hand.
Probably a good fold because his hand was vulnerable and can't really improve.
6 of diamonds on the turn. Shatalov slows down, he checks.
Well, since we were floating, now would be a good time to fire back a bit. Commence firing sequence.
Panka bluffs for 375,000.
Shatalov can call with pretty much any hand. We're going to have to fire again on the river.
Sure enough, he calls. 1.8 million in the middle. The river card is a queen. A pair for Panka.
There's actually no reason for us to fire now.
Action goes check.
Good check back. It's hard to get value from worse.
Shatalov had ace high.
Nice call on the turn, buddy, but guess what? We're Dominic Panka.
He gets there again, this time against Shatalov. And he's up to over 4.5 million. Over at the other table, Pavel Brzezinski is all in. Actions on our qualifier.
1.7 exact. 30.
This was a big shove, but probably the right way to play 4s against what's likely a big opening range.
Bram calls. And we are off to the races.
Flip it.
Like paella versus tapas.
Czwórki na as dama.
When it's a flip, Brzezinski has to win. 4's holding on the flop.
Dwójeczka.
Bram picks up additional outs.
Counterfeit outs, dirty.
Deuce.
4's hold. Pavel Brzezinski doubles up through our qualifier.
Oh yeah.
Qualifier gets doused with water, not gasoline. Sad, really.
Well, Bram's lost the chip lead. In fact, he's dropped into 4th. Sam Phillips is now the man in front. Meanwhile, big hand on the main stage. Andrea Dato has just 4-bet shoved, and the decision is back on Panka.
Big pot, but against a late position raiser, a call here would make sense.
I call.
He does call.
I don't know how much longer this kid's hot streak can last, though. He's come from behind more often than the 1988 Jamaican bobsled team. Cool runnings, man.
Panka is way behind, but if his 9s can crack Andrea's kings, he'll be our new chip leader. Safe flop for Dato.
Intense stare, Riario. And I think Skynet may have downloaded a Trojan.
Panka down to 5%.
Never click yes on Mac Janitor.
Andrea Dato just has to fade a 9 on the river to double up and survive. Boom.
Dominic Panka is capable of losing a hand. Maybe he's human after all. Just kidding.
He's down to 2.7 million now. You can qualify for the next European Poker Tour main event. Satellites are running right now at PokerStars.com.
James, check it out. I got these designer purses real cheap. One for each of my girlfriends.
Joe, they're not real.
Yeah, no, they're knockoffs.
No, I meant the girlfriends.
I'm meeting one of them next week.
Sure.
Dominic Panka has fallen below the tournament average after running pocket nines into Andrea Dato's kings. He's our last remaining EPT champ and still has a shot to win a second title if he can survive day 5. But the chatter in the Gaudi suite at Casino Barcelona has been centered around a different player, namely Ji Zhang, and specifically his slow roll with aces.
I'll call him.
Olha, Nicole, take one.
Oh, okay.
The stakes are sky high, so it's crucial to remain grounded at the PokerStars.com EPT Barcelona main event.
Dominic Panka knows a thing or two about staying grounded, not because he's humble, but because he's made mostly of computer parts and static electricity can be dangerous.
12 players remain, and at the secondary table, Ji Zhang has got aces again. He's raised.
No way.
Oh, and Sam Phillips has got kings.
Gross.
He re-raises. These are the 2 biggest stacks in the tournament.
How long is he gonna take this time?
I'm waiting.
Wow, huge shove from Zhang.
Call.
Strange reaction.
Jeez, Zhang, try not to be so upset about it.
Oh, God, he has aces.
I'd call that a slight underreaction.
He just 4-bet shoved aces for like heaps.
It was a huge shove, but I'm not sure what Sam was expecting. A bad hand? Ace-king, I guess. Still, this is just another gross cooler.
Zhang officially at risk.
Dude.
But he's a big favorite.
He just snapped 4-bet shove for like 4 million.
Sick spot, though.
No king on the flop. Zhang now a 92% favorite. Make that 95% favorite. Sam Phillips looking for a 2-outer to pull off a Panka-esque suck-out.
Zhang.
Overkill.
Sam just didn't think he could be up against aces when Zhang made his decision in less than 10 seconds. Oh man, I love aces. Best cards ever.
A gargantuan pot at the secondary table, and it sees Ji Zhang become the big chip leader with 8.7 million. Sam Phillips drops down to 6th. Our qualifier, Bram Henrites, is in the bottom half of the leaderboard, as is Dominic Panka. And Andre Letao is very much in the danger zone.
Danger zone!
Which is 12 big blinds. Bless Sam Phillips, trying to remain composed.
Everything was going my way. I think I was chip leading the tournament by a healthy margin. I had a monster hand with Ji Zhang. It's one of those situations where I got dealt 2 kings against him, and he was second in chips at the time. When he shoved all in, I couldn't believe it.
I'm waiting.
I double-checked my cards and was super excited to call it off.
Call.
I thought he could never have aces. He would just re-raise me with them. I jumped out of my seat happy, thinking there's no way I'm beat. He took quite a long time to turn over.
Oh, God, he has aces.
I was shocked when he rolled over 2 aces.
He just 4-bet shoved aces for like heaps.
After that hand, there was some other players upset.
I will puke if this guy wins the tournament.
It was nice to still be alive after such a brutal hand.
3 favorite rolls: slow, ciabatta, let the good times.
Staying at the secondary table, Pavel Brzezinski has aces and has raised to 160k.
I'm all in.
Andre Letal shoves with ace-10.
So many people running into aces. It's like that scene from Temple where Indy goes chasing after that dude all aggro and then gets chased back by like 1,000 more.
GG.
Yes, probably GG.
Was soll ich machen?
Letal at risk.
4 sevens, please.
It's not greedy.
Only 1-7, but Letal does flop a flush draw.
Never easy. Never easy.
Aces, am I right?
And he gets there on the turn.
What hit? I have the nuts.
See how fast he knew it was the nuts? This kid's good.
Andre Letal doubles up to 2.1 million. Pavel Brzezinski down to 1.5 million.
Oh man, I hate aces. Worst cards ever.
Back to the main stage, where we're going to play a hand against Dominic Panka as we sweat with Mikhail Rudoy.
I don't like it. I don't like it one bit.
So it's button versus big blind. Panka is raised. Rudoy's got 8-10.
Totally standard to call here, but against really good players, I'm not likely to call much worse than this. Sorry, I'm a fish.
He defends. And Rudoy flops top pair.
Buckle up your seatbelts. We're going for a ride. Hopefully it will be a short one unless we improve.
Action check to the pre-flop aggressor. Here comes a C-bet from Panka. 200,000.
Well, so far we know this ride is lasting one street. We're like TJ Hooker on the hood of a car. No choice but to hold on.
Rudoy makes the call. The turn card is a third diamond on the board. It also puts a 4-card straight out there.
Checks the play again. I like it.
And Panka checks it back.
Free card, yes!
Deuce of clubs.
Well, we can't value bet.
Rudoy checks for a third time.
There we go. How much?
Well, there's 910,000 in the middle. Panka makes it 325k.
This seems like a really bad spot to bluff, which makes me think we're not winning here, but we're getting like 4-1.
Rudoy calls. Panka has 8-6 for 2 pair.
A lot of folks are bluffing with 2 pair there, but with that sizing, he was probably going for thin value, and he got it. In the words of Mikkel Nielsen, bleeping Panka.
He's up to 3.6 million. Over to the secondary table, where our qualifier, Bram Henriks, has flopped a full house against Ji Zhang. Ji has picked up a no-good gut shot on the turn. And the action's been checked to him. He checks behind. And unluckily for him, he's made his straight on the river. Bram value bets 550,000.
I think this is a pretty clear just call. Too strong to fold. You can't fold out better, and you can't get value from worse.
How much left?
I mean, even if he's trying to figure out the best way to slow roll, still, this is just a call.
It's totally 2 million, huh?
What's he thinking about? Everything about this guy is slow. There should be a song about him by Foghat.
Clock, please.
Brzezinski not happy. He's called the clock.
It's too early, huh?
Hasn't been that long.
I've been told the player hasn't had enough time. I'm gonna give him additional 1 minute, and after that, I'm gonna give him 1 minute.
Cake the floor person. Iron fist.
I think you have nothing or you nuts. If I re-raise, you will fold, huh?
No, he won't. And also, it's not a re-raise. It's just the raise.
I try it.
Zhang calls.
Tried what? The only thing he tried was Pavel Brzezinski's patience.
Well, Ji's only played one EPT before. That was in Berlin during Season 9. He's got no recorded live results. He works as an IT engineer and mainly plays cash games in Germany. Meanwhile, our online qualifier, Bram Henriks, is back up to 4.9 million. So blinds right now are 50,000, 100,000 with a 10,000 ante. On the main stage, action's been folded to Dominic Panka. King Jack. And this is a raise from the hijack to 200,000. Slaven Popov has pocket jacks.
Popov gets a treat. Cloaking systems activated. Emotion program suspended.
Here comes a re-raise from Popov. A 3-bet to 575,000. Andrea Dato in the small blind has aces.
Things are not looking good for Popov. And we're about to see a really fake, stressed out 4-bet.
Dato shoves. Ensan, Panka, both fold.
Jax is actually in a really sick spot here.
I have more than you.
That was confident. Then again, he is Italian.
You have a pair?
Yes, pretty big pair.
And my hand is good too, huh?
How about you?
No pair.
No pair?
A rare lie in this situation.
You sure you don't have a pair?
Maybe I have a pair. Oh.
Maybe.
I think all this talking might nudge Popov into the fold category. This is reaching hold my beer levels of confidence. Oh, I really hope he breaks in this song.
I know you're not folding.
I know he's not getting fashion advice from any magazine published west of Kazakhstan.
Can you give me time if you want?
Take your time.
Oh, he's exuding confidence now.
I am what I am.
Popov makes the fold.
Good fold. I love it. Who folds jacks? It's awesome. Probably influenced by the fact that we're almost at the final table.
Oh. Good fold. I had aces.
Thank you.
Hey, that was nice. Not exactly plus EV to give that away, but real nice. I like that.
Andrea Dato now playing close to 3.5 million. Well, over to the other table, where action is on Pavel Brzezinski. He is under the gun with pocket eights. And he open jams.
This is a big shove from under the gun. Better hands aren't folding, and if you raise, then call it off, you can get worse hands that cram on you. Whatever, hindsight.
Ace-king for Bram.
I call. I have to call.
All in.
And Radziva now reshoves with aces.
Man, people are running into aces like Wile E. Coyote after painting a fake tunnel onto a wall.
Action's back on our qualifier.
Call.
He calls!
Had to do it.
No, давай.
Out.
I deserve an 8.
Deserves got nothing to do with it.
The kid from 2.5 Men is a huge favorite here.
Even bigger favorite now.
Ace of spades. 9 of clubs. 2 of spades.
У меня тузы.
At least Bram can't go broke here.
Spades.
10.
Well, Pavel's drawing dead. Bram can suck out with a 10 on the river.
Не надо, пожалуйста.
It's a 4.
High five, Uncle Charlie.
Trips aces.
He wins the main pot and the side pot. Brzezinski is eliminated. Radziva now is up to 7.5 million. And Bram Henriks, our qualifier, is left with just 10 big blinds.
Had a bucket of water thrown on him, but there's still something smoldering in there. He could catch again. Just an unlucky spot for him.
11 players remain. They'll continue to play down to the final 8 today. On the feature table, Hussein Ensan has 6-4 of diamonds. He raises. Ace-Jack of diamonds for Andrei Shatilov. He calls in position. Ace-9 of clubs for Dominic Panka.
Dominic could very easily shove this.
He starts this hand with 25 big blinds. And he's all in. Popov folds the big blind. Ensan's out.
That was a nice way to do that. I think for a lot of folks, this is the worst hand they'd call with.
2-4-8.
Shatilov calls.
Domination, termination. Shatilov over Skynet. Count it.
Once again, Panka needs to come from behind. A 7-7 deuce flop. So opportunities emerge for Panka. In order to survive, he will need to see an ace, king, 9, 7, or deuce on the river. But has he used up all of his run good today?
Yes.
The last remaining former champ leaves us in 11th place.
Nah, he was living on borrowed time anyway.
Good game, good luck. Good luck. Good game.
So we will be crowning a new EPT champion here in Barcelona.
Hello, Barcelona. It's great to be Aki. It's great to be Aki. Who's from out of town? Who's from out of town? All right, how about tapas, huh? I think tapas is a Spanish word for, I just had 2 bites of food for $10. Can I have some more, please? Barcelona is pronounced Barcelona. Well, after some of those tapas, show me which way to the bathroom. Yikes! Woo-hoo. Boy, is this thing on? What are you guys, having a siesta out there? What's happening? Thank you. Anybody want to buy a hat? Real cheap.
Dominic Panka outlasted all the other previous main event champions here in Barcelona, but his good run came to a screeching halt when he was knocked out of the 100th PokerStars.com EPT in 11th place.
I feel a little bit sad, a little bit disappointed, but I know that probably I shouldn't be here in the first place, given that I sucked out pretty hard. I think that I'll be all right, no worries.
Shortly after Dominic hit the rail, Mikhail Rudoy was eliminated in 10th place by Hussein Ensan. And now the remaining 9 players have redrawn and taken their seats around the feature table. Well, after knocking out Rudoy, Hussein Ensan is #1 on the leaderboard with just over 10 million. Meanwhile, Bram Henrites is down to 7 big blinds. Andrei Shatilov, ace-queen under the gun.
240.
He's raising. Bram Henrites started the day as chip leader. Now he is the short stack. 8-7 of diamonds.
Whoa.
Our qualifier is all in.
Oh man, Bram, maybe this kid's got a future in the NFL because this is a huge punt.
Folded around to Slaven Popov. Who's got kings?
It's time for Popov the Sailor Man to re-shove off from shore here.
Small win.
He reshoves. Latau folds the button. Ensan in the small blind. Mucks. Datu gives up the big blind.
Should be an easy fold for ace-queen.
Shatilov gets out the way. Well, this could be it. Our qualifier set to go out on the final table bubble.
King's a huge favorite. Bram is going to need a strong gust of wind to keep that flame from going out completely.
Two diamonds.
While Bram flops a straight draw.
He's heating up.
A jack or a 6 gets him out of trouble. He gets there on the turn.
He's on fire!
But Popov has a redraw to a better straight. Bram has to fade a queen on the river. He survives!
Remember when I criticized him for shoving 7-8? I take it back. I didn't know that was going to happen.
Small stacks are resilient.
They really are. The way this turn is going.
You can better with small stack, man. Big stacks lose.
Logic is literally bulletproof.
Bram up to 2.3 million, Popov down to 1 million. Oleshemian on the rail, watching his friend Andre Letau in action.
Oh, I thought he was here to see me.
Lines currently 60 and 120,000 with a 20,000 ante. Dato folds under the gun. Shatilov's out. Bram is not going to play this one. Ace-king for Sam Phillips. Raises to 250,000. King-jack for Kirill Radzivanow.
Men.
What's this? A 3-bet from the so-called angry moron.
Calling's fairly uncomfortable there. You don't know where your hand's at. At least if you 3-bet, you can be the aggressor.
Action back on Phillips.
It's one stack of greens.
I started with 5 million.
Phillips out of position. But he calls.
Just calling, just in case he's up against a monster.
Well, both players miss the flop.
And I think Sam's going to fold to a C-bet most of the time.
He checks to Radzivanow. Who continues for 500,000.
And this is why he would 3-bet pre-flop. Sam's not folding. Looks like he's gonna peel.
He does have the best hand. He calls. The turn card is a king. Both players now with top pair.
Very interesting.
Phillips checks for a second time.
I think Kirill checks back the turn because it's hard for him to get called by worse, but nope, no, he's betting.
Into a pot of 2.6 million, he bets 900,000.
Nah, but this is a super small bet, so he is in a way going for cheap showdown. This should be an easy just call for Sam.
I'm all in.
Phillips shoves.
Okay, I'm really striking out here. The not-so-silent scream. Sam probably thinking after such a small bet, he always has the best hand. And I'm reluctant to say what I think here because I've been oh so wrong so far in this hand, so I'm going to go against my gut this time and say he calls.
Radzivanow looks back at his hand. And folds it.
0 for 4.
Now with every decision, there are laddering considerations. It's not just about missing out on a seat at the final table. The next player out will receive just shy of 93,000 euros. There's 121,000 for 8th, and of course the winner will receive more than 1.26 million. Blinds are now 81.60. Hossein Ensan has pocket aces.
Man, there's been more aces today than Roger Federer playing against a 10-year-old.
He raises to 325,000. Folded around to Bram Henrites, who's got ace-10.
Now, Bram, before you get all crazy here, the guy who looks like the tightest player at the table just raised under the gun. Lots of other short stacks. Simmer down now.
I'm all in.
Oh dear.
He didn't simmer down.
Round to the button. Radzivanow folds. The blinds are out. Ensan calls.
We've seen about a bajillion hands with aces today. We've seen them cracked a fair few times. Will they do what they're supposed to do 92% of the time? Or will we keep playing nine-handed?
A 92% chance that our qualifier's flame will be extinguished on the final table bubble.
The qualifier hoping this dealer makes it Bram Henrichs' Dracula with a giant bloody suckout.
Friends of the other 8 players on the rail hoping that aces hold here. Well, Bram is now down to 2% equity.
Gulp. Little inside joke there at the sevens between the Germans. I don't get it either.
Bram needs to see something on the turn. But he's drawing dead. Flame out. Still a huge cash for a guy who won his seat for just 82 euros. And the final table is set. We're down to the final 8. Our online qualifier leaves in 9th place, cashing for 92,000 euros. So Hussein Ensan, who won the seniors event just a few days ago, will come into the final table of the main event as chip leader. He has a stack of more than 10 million after taking out our online qualifier, Bram Henrichs.
I'm pretty sure that if I wake up tomorrow thinking about the whole experience, it has been a great experience, considering it's my first ever live tournament, and considering that I qualified for 80 euros, the return on investment is pretty good. So,
Next time, the final 8 return. Who will become a millionaire and be crowned EPT 100 champion?
Making this final table is a dream come true. I'm just super excited.
Go, baby! Let's go! What the Slow roll.
Come on!
Yeah!